Welcome everybody to NRL, the Ninja Racing League 2021. I'm Retrophile TV, and tonight we have for you 5 groups, 23 ninjas coming in vying for the top 8 spots. I am joined in the booth here for the first group by the one, the only, the Fabricator General. Hello, Fab. How you doing tonight?
What's going on, Retro? How's it going?
Glad to have you here. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for those that came in. We're working on getting some stuff set up as well on the back end here. But before we begin here, for those that are new and maybe want to understand the format of what we're doing here tonight, we'll talk about as we go. We have a nice video here that was put together by Fab and Black Squall, which we're going to roll here to explain what the format is and what we're looking to do tonight.
Each group will run 3 races, and each racer will earn points depending upon their finishing position within those races. The fastest time gets 4 points, the second fastest time gets 3 points, so on and so forth. We'll also keep track of their average time in case we need it as a tiebreaker. The winners from each of the 5 groups will automatically advance to the bracket stage of the round of 8. The next 3 racers with the highest point totals will make it in as wildcards. The round of 8 will be a traditional best of 3, and then the finals and the third place matches will be a traditional best of 5. All right, so hopefully that helps explain the process a little bit. Thanks y'all for watching, and good luck out there.
Okay, guys, sorry for the lack of audio out of the gates. But basically, I'll just review really fast. We're going to have 5 groups tonight, 3 races per group. And basically, each racer is vying for points that we have here. And it starts with 4 points for first place, 3 for second, 2 for third, 1 for first, and for fifth place, 0. And basically, across those 3 races, you want to try to accrue as many points as possible. The top finisher in each group moves on. So we'll have 5 people going into the top 8 based on that. Then there are 3 wild cards that we're going to have based on the highest point total. And if we have a tie, it'll be broken down based on the average finishing time that they have across the 3 races. So that was the first part of the video here, but all you need to know is that we're going to have some amazing races, some amazing people overall. And the first thing that we have here is Group A, the Barbarian group. We have Lane Raider, Edo87, Neowin, Escape Plan, and I believe Let Create also. We got 2 Chilean runners here. Fabricator General, what do you think we're going to expect here from the first group? Who do you got as far as your favorite goes, and who do you think might be the dark horse or the surprise from this group?
Oh my gosh, this is probably one of the most interesting groups, really, because this is one of those where I think anything could happen. Lane Rayner, obviously, his PB is 11:51. He's 10th place on Racetime GG with 13 prior races, so he's got a little bit of race experience. And that's by far and away a faster, he's the only sub 12 runner in this group. Edo, however, he's got a PB of 12:03, but he's actually 8th place on Racetime GG and has 37 races under his belt. So that's a lot of experience in racing, and it's really interesting to watch these 2 top runners in this category going at it in this group going at it, because you've got somebody who's really, really fast in Lane Rayner going against Edo, who's got a lot of experience, not only just in this game, but in all the Ninja Gaiden games, and a lot of race experience as well. And then you've got Let Create, which is, you can't sleep on him at all, and anything can happen in these races. It's going to be, there's going to be some fierce competition for sure. This one's going to be exciting, I think.
I think they're all going to be exciting in their own regard, but for us to kick off the inaugural NRL with them being the first group, definitely going to be very exciting. I did some very brief analysis and predictions earlier today. I picked Edo to pull the upset on this one, just based on just the sheer knowledge that he has across the board, having that damageless playthrough, the pacifist and Zen master that he is. Lane Rayner obviously is has the higher PB here, but PBs mean nothing at the end of the day here, folks, because anything can happen. PBs are under best circumstances, and if we're going to be coming into this here, you have to be able to adapt and to overcome things that you may not have seen during your normal PB grind. So we'll see how well people can adapt to things on the fly. But like you said, the major race experience can really help things out. I don't really think Edo is the type to get nervous, and he can definitely handle himself in a very high stress situation, which this certainly is, because you have 3 attempts. That's basically it. And you're fighting for your chance to keep that tournament life alive for next week for that top 8 tournament we have. But Edo is my pick for this one. Lane Rainer is a great choice for a potential wild card in that top 8. So watch them for sure. Let Create has been also on a roll with PBing recently. So that momentum may keep going here. We got an Escape Plan and NeoWen also working their way through. We have a good chance of possibly seeing some PBs happen live with this group as well. But I think that we're going to see some very close races between Edo and Lane, who very well may separate themselves here overall. But I think Edo will take this one here just from being so calm and collected.
All right, good deal. So it looks like all the racers in the room are ready, and Seamless has let me know that he's ready as well. So I'm going to give them a preliminary countdown. We'll probably be kicking this off in about a minute or 2.
Sounds good, guys. We're using some stuff here on the back end with thanks to Racetime GG for this assistance here. So we'll run the things out. For what it's worth, guys, we're probably not going to have all of the racers synced up. It's all going to be pretty much best effort. It's a bit of a nightmare to sync them in that regard. So we'll just kind of let things go as we get those times coming down. We'll let you know what we see within Racetime. You'll see it on the screen here, and we'll try to call out some specific things, what we're going to see. I will say that if you're used to watching Ninja Gaiden PB attempts, you're going to see some more safety strats, and we'll try to point those parts out as well throughout that people will be employing that maybe they don't go for normally under PB circumstances, but who knows, maybe we'll see people risk it for the biscuit, and they realize that they may have to turn it on, especially after the results for the first round is in. I always talk a lot about this, that tournament psychology is a thing, and we'll see how things go with that.
All right, so I just gave them the 60-second countdown, and we will be going in 1 minute.
Excellent. Get hype in the chat, folks. Glad to have you all here. Thank you so much for taking the time to make NRL here as hype as possible. And glad to have you. We're going to see some amazing stuff here from some of the best ninjas in the world. I will say that we did some number crunching here, and the average PB time across all 23 participants is below 12:30. So the average runner we're having here is ninja licensed. And that's going to be a really great time overall here. Fab, I'm really excited. How are you feeling right now, right before the count?
I'm incredibly excited. This is going to be awesome. I'm giving them 30 seconds and then we're going.
Sounds good. So sit back, relax.
To those of you, if anybody, I just noticed we had some serious hype in chat. Just so y'all know, if there's any hype donation, we really appreciate it, but we will get to y'all and thank y'all in between races when we can.
Because in races you still feel nervous. But...
Agreed. Again, thank you so much for all the support, guys. Glad that you are here, and hopefully we'll provide you with a wonderful evening of entertainment. 5 groups, 3 races per group. That's 15 hype races ready for you guys here to watch. So kick back. You're not going to miss a second of this.
All right, 15-second countdown is go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. They should be getting off here in just a second. We're gonna have probably about a 10-second stream delay that y'all will see from in between race time and when the racers start.
And it looks like all the racers now are off and running here in Escape Plan here with the earliest set, but the NRL is underway, folks. Let's begin here. Level 1, pretty straightforward. You can get this one done in under 50 seconds if everything goes according to plan. Everyone taking a pretty similar route from what we're seeing here hopping across the top there, but we're on our way to get ourselves a refreshing beverage at the bar down the street.
Indeed. So Retro, you were saying earlier you're picking Edo for this. I think I'm going to take the other side. I've been watching Lane Rainer do practice this week, and he started to implement some race strats, and I think he's got some consistency that he's added to his game. So we'll have to see how this turns out.
Yes, but my friend Fab, there's a big difference between practice and actually going out there doing it live. Looks like no one had any major hangups here in level 1, but we'll continue to see the separation as the difficulty increases with each level. Moving on to stage 2.
So true. Looks like we're moving just fine. Everybody's getting through there without too many problems so far.
So if there's anyone out here that's brand new to Ninja Gaiden here, you saw Spin Slash just shredding that Barbarian boss and just melting health, doing damage on every frame basically at this point. Looks like Neowin got hung up there on that Tyson for a little bit. That you can get stuck in the blender if you're not too careful with that. The sword hitbox is only a suggestion, unfortunately, sometimes, and that can happen when you're trying to take care of some of the enemies there, and it can happen where you also hear us talk about Stanley slashes, where if instead of us doing a jumping slash or falling slash, if you stand still and swing the sword, that can also be pretty detrimental. Looks like Edo caught up to an escape plan here. They're about even though we know that Edo kind of started a little bit behind. Coming to 2-2, this is actually an early killer, I would say, and Fab, maybe you can back me up on this one. It is deceptively difficult to do this section consistently.
Oh, absolutely, especially with the swag star here. Some people have chosen to use the safety strat and use the spin slash through this area, although I don't know that I saw anybody using that strat right now. So far so good with all the runners, it looks like.
Yeah, coming up here onto the final screen of 2-2, the long haul to go pick up Spin Slash again after getting that fire shield. And this can be a very deceptive section. You have to worry about all these mummies throwing hammers at you in the process here, dealing with the global timer, which again you'll hear a bunch about here, and hopefully that no one gets trolled. And unfortunately, an escape plan falling to his death toward the end. That is going to be a major time loss. Edo taking care of Bomberhead here in stage 2.
Yeah, it looks like Neoin's finishing it up as well. That's unfortunate for an escape plan. That is a pretty decent time loss, being sent all the way back to the beginning of the stage. The only consolation being that you do at least get to have Spin Slash back. You don't have to do the whole rest of the stage completely low percent, although it looks like he's making it through now.
Not too bad. On to 3-1. At this area, you actually can hold right the entire time if done well. Grab the star, throw the star, grab the art of the fire wheel, and away we go on to 3-2. And we're going to see some interesting strats here and possibly some deviations, some things you'd normally see during PB attempts. The double scree or double bird boost, the butt clench cliff. We'll probably see more safe strats happen with that, more in line. But we're watching right now. Looks like Edo probably out in front with Lane pretty close behind overall, again accounting for the stream delay. It looks like Lane Rainer is going to be going for the double bird boost and nails it. Nicely done.
Well done. I saw in chat there was a question about a 5th runner, and you are correct. This group does have 5 runners. Let Create is also running. We just couldn't fit 5 runners on one screen, so we're going to rotate runners in and out as this race completes. He is currently running as well, and he is currently fighting Basker alongside Edo and Lane Rainer.
Fantastic. And also Edo and Lane Rainer getting the standard kill. And we're pretty close all the way through. An escape plan working his way through on 3-2. And also Neowin with an excellent kill on Bassiker as well. So oddly enough, we had mentioned Spin Slash before. Stage 3, the only one that doesn't have Spin Slash. So you're stuck using the art of the fire wheel to face Bassiker there. Moving on to stage 4. And this one's not too bad. This first screen will be taken care of pretty quickly. Get a health refill at the beginning of 4-2, the bridge scene that we all know and love. 4-3 is a pretty easy section, and we're going to be going on to Kelberos for this one. But there are some tricky moments that can lead to a death if you have a lapse in concentration.
Interesting, Edo and Lane Rainer both chose to forego the bat boost there. They both took low route. That was an interesting choice.
Yeah, right, you are, Fab. It's, again, opting for consistency over the risk of sometimes if you don't take that bat boost properly, you can get unlucky and just get thrown in the pit. There's nothing you can do about it.
That's right, yeah. Not a good place to die either.
I think as the day goes on, speaking about falling into the pit, Neowin also taking death. That's 2 deaths that we've seen on screen so far from this group.
Yeah, that may give an escape plan a chance to catch up there. Although, it looks like he just fell off as well.
Yes, and also Edo having some difficulty toward the end that basically Lane and Edo are synced up here, and that is the first game over we're seeing from the escape plan there at the beginning of 4-1.
Yeah, you're right. Edo and Lane Rainer are basically neck and neck right here.
grabbing spin slash here, doing a nice job overall. It's going to come down to small movements here, and we're going to be coming into the latter half of the game where the difficulty really spikes in stage 5 and stage 6.
At the bottom left-hand corner, you see Neo in there. For those of you who don't know, Neo, and actually his he just got a PB the other day, a 12:59. So he is currently and now a sub 13 runner.
Fantastic. That's not an easy barrier to breach.
It is not.
We have Edo and Lane and Kelberos jump and slash with spin slash, and then the boss melts, and on we go to stage 5. This is a long haul through this one, and a lot of things can go wrong, but being able to take spin slash all the way up to Malth will be interesting. We'll see what the global timer has in store for us here, Fab.
Looks like Lane Raider caught a little boot. He got the manip from that hammer bro, and it put him slightly ahead of Edo now.
Do you want to explain a little more about what the manip is for those that may not know what we're referring to?
So when you take a jump over that second walker, if you pause just a little bit, it'll cause the hammer bro to fall down the pillar that he's standing on just a fraction. And if you jump up into him, you'll get a forward boost up onto the platform, and it keeps you from having to flip-flop your way up, which gives you a pretty significant time save.
And Edo and Lane still basically frame for frame as they come into 5-2 now. The cliff climb. Do you think we're going to see any lemon drops today, or do you think we're going to see a lot more up and over?
You know, that'll be interesting to see. It's possible we see one from players that have used it for quite a while, like Retro Runner. I'm not sure if he's planning on using a lemon drop or not. You know, to some degree, it's actually safer to go with muscle memory in those areas. If you're used to lemon drop, then that's kind of what you got to stick with.
And here we go. And for those that are watching it, we'll see how it happens. Lane going for the safer strat, Edo going up and over.
Mm-hmm.
And Lane getting the nice bird boost, and Edo right behind.
Very nice. Still neck and neck. Very close.
Lane has actually put some distance between him and Edo. They're no longer as synced anymore, taking some very risky strats. Apparently, Lane is throwing caution to the wind, just going in with what he's comfortable.
Yeah, and part of that, you know, part of it is, to a degree, you just kind of have to go with what muscle memory you have. Looks like Edo decided to despawn that hammer bro there in order to save some Nimpo. He looks a little low on Nimpo going into this SP boost room. And does get the SP boost.
Not to mention that actually despawning that completely removes the possibility of that hammer bro giving you a bad hammer and possibly knocking you off in the process.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So about a one screen difference here between Lane and Edo as they come up to Malth. Both of them will be taking spin slash up there. An escape plan has begun 5-1. And it looks like Neowin also into 5-3.
Yeah, Neowin is performing extremely well thus far here. I mean, he's doing incredibly well, sticking with these you know, the sub 12 and 12.0x runner pretty well.
He's definitely punching above his weight class. That's for sure here.
Absolutely.
On to stage 6, Lane Rayner and Edo making their way into Jackio's lair. And we have those 3 bosses, the culmination of stress at the end of the run, that if you die to any of those bosses, you're going all the way back to 6-1 in a cruel twist of fate and a joke. That could very much cost a race here. And I guarantee, mark my words, we will see that happen from someone within these 23 competitors today. That unfortunate fate will befall them. You hate to see it, but that's just the nature of the game of running Ninja Gaiden.
Yep, absolutely. Anything can happen in race.
Here we are into 6-2, arguably the most difficult and just hellacious area of the run in general. We'll be going into Hell Hallway, but just some minor things overall. Lane Rayner continuing on a tear, by the way, looking very strong out of the gate and just going for it in, as whereas Edo is taking things a little bit slower. Lane getting some climbs in there on the long ladder. Here we are on Hell Hallway. And he's got spin slash, so he'll get himself through. One more spin, jump, D-boost, and across the ladder there. Edo right behind him, following a very similar way of doing things, and looking good overall. Nice D-boost here at the end. Very well done from Lane. We'll see how Edo tackles this room, opting to do the same strat, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like they're both through 6-2 into 6-3 now. For those of you who cannot see, Let Crate is also moving along those same lines. I think he's just slightly behind Edo. It's hard to tell with the screen delay, but so far he's keeping pace as well.
Very well done. On to 6-3, looking to dump the Nimpo here and be able to get this slash and kind of carry this bird with them. As you see on lane side, getting that nice boost, walking down, slashing, getting the time stop, grabbing that 5-po, and we are almost one screen away from our last set of bosses within the NRL. I'm very excited, Fab. How are you feeling about this?
This is incredible. They are playing very, very well for a first race. First races, we always joke when we do casual Saturday races, the first race is always a complete mess. And so far, they're doing very, very well.
Lane taking a very, very safe way, just holding right and eating the 6 damage. You don't really lose a lot of time. It looks like Edo also taking a very similar strat, not even risking it.
Yep. Let Create looks like he's through that door as well, about to start fighting Jackio here in a second.
Excellent, very good. We have an escape lane on 6-1. We've got Neo in 6-2. And Lane Raider onto Jackio with the left-hand side fight. Having some difficulty with some of the fire there.
Yeah, this is a difficult fight. Even it looks like Lane Raider finally takes him down. Looks like Edo's going to chase
Edo
him
with
down
a
to
nice
finish him
kill
off.
there.
Yeah, nice.
Hunting him down, saving a little bit of time there with those mashes. Now we are to the demon. Let's see how it happens. And if we're going to see some tail kills today.
Looks like we are, and even with some tail kills, it looks like both these runners should have a ninja license time.
Oh, look at this. So Edo
wow.
thought about it for a little bit. Oh my God, that was so close.
Unbelievable.
We're going to see what the race time GG times are as they clock in.
Couldn't stop it there.
Oh, incredible. Wow. So from what Race Time GG is reporting right now, it looks like Let Create finished in first with a 12:23, Edo with a 12:28, Lane Raider with a 12:29.
Look at that.
That's incredible.
Because I tried to...
Unbelievable. So Let Create actually being the one to grab first place out of nowhere, the dark horse, and
Absolutely.
Edo and Lane being 1 second apart.
Those are incredible race times, especially for a first race.
Oh, wait a minute. Lane is saying that he finished at 12:14 but forgot to hit done.
Yeah, Vlad, ¿qué pasa, Vlad? Ole, 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 ole. Sacamos primero.
We have to go to a booth review for that one, but that does seem right. And based on the strats I was seeing on this side, it is very possible that time would line up.
Mm-hmm. That may. We do have so Ultra Minimalist and Black Squall are our race mods, and they are watching these streams live and keeping track of time. So we are well aware that Race Time GG can be off by quite a bit sometimes. So we're going to end up having to review a lot of these races, I think, to make sure we get the times correct.
Right. Yeah. Edo's seeing 12:20 for his. I mean, we saw like Lane and Edo were pretty close overall. I mean, obviously the stream delays here make things kind of difficult to look at. But if that is the case, then that would put Lane in first, Edo just barely in second, and Let Create in third from what we got there.
That seems about right. That seems like I can't see the streams live, but we are currently checking, trying to get word from Ultra Minimalist or Black Squall. Looks like Neo in finished. He's going to be in fourth with a 13:51 was his final time on Race Time GG.
And we have an escape plan here on your stream, fighting the Jackio, taking things like getting down to 1 health and still clutching it out.
Still good, you know, but on top 20.
Coming into the demon here. Here we
Very
go.
nice.
Time for a race.
So reports from Race Time GG are that final times for Lane Rainer was 12:14 and final time for Edo was 12:20.
Okay, an escape plan, opting to kill the tail, getting a nice shrimp pattern to work with. Very simple, straightforward mash, clutching it out and closing it out here. And getting a final time in Race Time GG of, looks like just around 15 minutes.
Very nice. All right, all the times in. We are going to take a review of that real quick. I think just a simple check of splits ought to do. Those times are far enough apart. We probably won't need to frame count them. I'm going to go ahead and start setting up the second race.
Estoy con el Lucho, el Tomás, la Tani, y la Ama.
Should have that ready to go here in a bit.
Okay, guys. So we're gonna get word from the judges on this one here in the meantime.
You know,
But sit tight, kick back, relax. The first race is in the books. There's 2 more to go here for this group.
because it's
So
this
keep it here.
man. Yeah, well, the thing is, I have to play quite safe and.
Okay, so the results coming back from Ultra and Black Squall looks like Lane 1214, Edo 1220, and Let Create with 1223. So it looks like that is confirmed. That Lane Rainer is your winner on this one by 6 seconds, which we did see him surpass Edo, so that does make sense. Looks like Edo in second.
All right, gonna get these times updated and get the second race room started.
Well, nonetheless, Lane's going to feel good about that, taking the win out of the gate. A little bit of a scary moment there with race time not taking the done, but this is why we confirm, why we have them run the local timers just to confirm this as we go through. But nonetheless, Lane taking first place by 6 seconds over Edo in second position, and doing a good job. Let Craig getting third, rounding out the podium here, with Neoen in fourth, and then Escape Plan in fifth.
Yeah, big thank you to Ultra Minimalist and Black Squall for running the race mods on this stuff. We, for the most part, our racers are keeping track of their times on their own splits, and that should be sufficient, along with Race Time GG, to get an exact time of their finishes. But in the case that we do have somebody, 2 racers within a second or so of each other, we do have the ability to do a frame count, and we'll be making sure that we get all those times correct. Even if we need to frame count off stream, something goes down on a stream, we've asked all of our racers to local record, and if something goes down, they can send us a file, and as long as we can match it up with a stream, we can frame count and figure out what their times are.
Right, you're out there, Fab. Okay, so considering the results of the first race that we had here, how do you think that the runners are feeling going into race number 2?
So this is about, they actually, their race times are literally exactly their seed. And I can't imagine that any of them are necessarily upset with any of these times. I mean, these are right in line with kind of what you'd want to expect. In fact, Neoen's best race time on Race Time GG that he's ever recorded is a 14:06. So that 13:50 would actually be his best race time that he's recorded thus far. And I'd have to imagine that he's happy with that. I think that that's the same with Let Create as well. The fastest race time Let Create's ever gotten in Race Time GG is a 12:39. So that he's got to be happy with the 12:23 there.
Absolutely agreed. So it looks like we have some confusion in chat about this. So just to reiterate, folks, there are 3 races we're going to have per group stage that you're having here. You're going to see 15 races tonight. That was the first of 15 that we had done. We got 2 more with the same 5 racers that we just had. And we're going through that. Each racer will gain points. So Lane Rainer walks away with 4 points for that victory. Edo will get 3. Let Create gets 2. Neoen gets 1. Escape Plan gets 0 out of the gate. We got 2 more to go. Whoever has the highest point total at the end of the 3 races wins the group, and we'll move on to the top 8. It ensures that they will go there. But you're still fighting for those points to go in as the wild card. Now, there are 3 wild card slots we're going to have to round out that top 8. That's going to happen next Saturday for the tournament stage.
That's right. Just making sure we get it looks like we've got all racers in the new room. We're just setting up the new stream, and we'll get ready and get started here in a minute.
Excellent. Sit tight here, folks. We'll get started off here momentarily.
Right. Looks like we have rotated Neoen out of the broadcast for this race, and Let Create is going to be featured on the bottom left here. Again, Let Create is a Chilean runner Current SRC PB is 12:13, and he places 17th on the leaderboard on Racetime GG. He's got 10 prior races under his belt before today.
And race experience, definitely a good thing overall. And again, it comes down to that consistency, but it seems like Lane Rayner was able to do a good job with some very risky strats, all things considered, but pulling out a very nice time, enough to edge out Edo by 6 seconds.
Yeah, you got to be happy with a 12-1x time in a race, especially for a first race. There's always first race jitters that happen, and you know, there's a pretty good ongoing joke about first races never going the right way, and this one actually looked like it went exactly like it should. I can't imagine that anybody is unhappy with those times.
It's a great start to a great event here, and it looks like you've given the 60-second warning, folks, so we're going to be kicking off the second race here momentarily.
I'm about to give them the 30-second warning. Like to give them lots and lots of warnings to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Thanks to everyone here for joining us here. It's going to be a nice evening of competition, maybe some upsets that we'll see. Overall, I mean, everything fell within the seeding that you would expect this time around, but it's a brand new race starting from the beginning. It's possible that Lane may be feeling too comfortable. We'll see what happens.
All right, countdown is at 15 seconds. Should be getting ready to go here in momentarily.
And away we go. The countdown is down. Looks like Lane Rayner is the last one off the line with the longest delay here, so just please be mindful of that. But we're back once again to stage one, home sweet home, or the prison for some people.
Want to grab me one too?
Looks like Let Create having some difficulty getting that D boost out of the gate to grab that spin slash.
That's right. It's incredibly difficult. It's it's easy to sleep on 1-1. But in reality, it's amazing how often errors occur in this stage. It can really set a bad tone for the rest of the race as well. Coming out of 1-1 5 or 10 seconds behind definitely doesn't feel good.
So we have some questions here in chat. Where is Neowin? Again, we've swapped him out for Let Create. All 5 folks are running actively. We're just showing 4 people on the screen here at this time, but all racers are currently running. We'll try to keep you posted about what the status is here, but looks like a pretty uneventful stage 1 for most folks overall. Let Create's got to feel pretty rough about those boosts going up there to grab the spin slash, but coming into stage 2.
Yeah, hopefully he can shake that off and put it behind him. You know, anything happens in these races, and so whenever you have an error like that, you just kind of have to either shake it off or imagine that other people are probably going through the same thing.
Agreed. Now, there's an old adage in racing in general that a race cannot be won in the first turn, but it absolutely can be lost. So that being said, you got to be careful, but at the end of the day, the first level of Ninja Gaiden is not going to be the major definitive factor overall. Though I guess I could say that. I mean, we had a 6-second difference between Lane and Edo, and if you burn 6 seconds in stage 1, that could be the case. But nonetheless, there's plenty of other more difficult and stressful areas to worry about here. So if you have a little issue with the D-boost, that's not too bad.
Yeah, very true. It looks like Edo went through the majority of 2-1 without spin slash, and he has 65 Nimpo now. I'm not sure that he knows he's going to have to burn a lot of that off by the end of the stage, but he was able to get through a lot of 2-1 low percent or sword only. Now it looks like he's back on track, but he's got a lot of Nimpo to burn off now.
Indeed.
Yeah, you can see him jumping and slashing and just dumping the Nimpo at this point, trying to get down. And Fab, you want to go into the reasoning as to why we're talking about getting rid of Nimpo? Why does it matter that he has excess?
Good point. So whenever you have every 5 extra Nimpo is probably a 0.2 or 0.3 countdown. The timer actually at the end of the stage, once you defeat the boss, starts counting down your Nimpo first, and then counts down the remaining time. So it actually costs you extra time to count down that Nimpo, and it's an easy way of thinking about it is for every 10 extra Nimpo costs you half a second.
Agreed. So you want to try to have that as low as possible. You want to basically burn the last 5 that you have just to reduce that, because we're trying to save as much as we can here as we go on to, looks like we're in 3-2. Again, Lane Rainer had a pretty long delay, so he very well might be in the lead right now or close. Oh, unfortunately, Let Create getting bullied there and taking a death in 3-1.
Wow. Yeah, that is unfortunate. The nice thing about that death is that it is not too costly. There's worse places to die. 3-1 is a relatively short stage, probably one of the shorter stages in the whole game. So,
oh, look at this! Look at this! A double bird boost from Lane Rainer once again.
Incredible.
Is it?
You know, it's interesting because to a degree, it is a more reliable strategy. Although
no! Edo, I'm sorry to cut you off there, Fab. Edo, unfortunately, taking a death there at the cliff, jumped too early and got the back boost into the pit. That's going to be a huge boost for Lane Rainer here.
Oh my! That is an incredible time loss. That is one of the worst places in this game to die because this stage is incredibly long. It's about a 40 to 50 second loss whenever you die at Butt Clench Cliff there.
That is very, very unfortunate. Lane Rainer pulling himself together. They're doing a great job, and it looks like we saw an escape plan taking care of Bassiker here. So Edo really, really fighting from the corner at this point. That's a major time loss.
Yeah, he's got to use the safety strat there, and it's actually Let Create has pulled ahead of Edo here.
Edo having to lean on his low percent roots to deal with Bassiker here and try to close him out as soon as possible. Where we see Let Create has passed him and gone into 4-1, but gets knocked in the pit and takes a game over here in the process.
Oh wow! Again, not a terrible death to take either, though. Relatively quick. In fact, I think he's still ahead of Edo here. Yeah, he is.
Unbelievable. All right, so Lane Rainer now with a pretty comfy lead from what it looks like here, but unfortunately, we're playing Ninja Gaiden, and that can change at any moment, especially in the later stages. Speaking of an escape plan, not too far behind. Again, actually doing a really good job just kind of maintaining that pace as best as possible. If you ask him right now, he would be very surprised to hear that he's actually ahead of Edo.
I know. I was just thinking this. You know, he's about done with 4-2 already.
How about that?
It just goes to show literally anything can happen in these races. I'm keeping track of Neo, and he's currently on the bridge on 4-2 as we speak. So he's in there about neck and neck with Edo and Let Create as well.
Agreed. And it looks like Lane Rainer getting toward the end of 4-3 here, about to move on to Kelberos. And he is on pace to possibly get back-to-back victories here. And that'll be 8 points, which is a fantastic total to have. But he's got to get past stage 5 and stage 6. So
this is when the game really starts, is Act 5.
What'd you say?
You know when.
Right,
he
so
walked into that door at about 6:13 on the clock, which is a pretty good time there.
Yeah, it's very, very good. So one thing I just want to point out, we just saw on Edo's screen that maybe some people that don't realize what's happening there, that Edo's actually jumping through the ladder and actually grabbing on the other side. You want to talk a little bit about that ladder clip at the start of 4-3?
Yeah, and it's probably about a half-second time save there. But yeah, if you hold jump as you jump through and into the ladder, and as soon as you get to the other side, grab back onto it, you will clip through the ladder and grab it. There are several areas where you can do that in this game, although some of them are sub-pixel dependent, but that is one that works every single time.
Very good stuff. Kelberos coming down on Edo's side. An escape plan not having spin slash, having to chase down the Kelberos here. The one that moves faster and is more aggressive is actually the one that takes damage. The other one is just a complete decoy. And we see Lane Raider here in 5-2 had a fantastic 5-1 for what it's worth.
Should I use my info here?
You could.
It looks like an escape plan. There he goes. He takes down the doggos on to Act 5.
I'm just gonna get life, yeah.
Lane Rainer coming up here to the lemon drop, taking the intended route on the bottom route. Also grabbed himself a little bit of health, went for the bird boost, missed it, but was able to grab the ladder. Moving on to 5-3.
This is PB pace for me.
It looks like all the rest of our runners are currently in 5-1. Neoen just finished up 5-1, so he's moving on to 5-2. Looks like so is Let Create. They're on the same screen currently.
Well, Lane Raider firmly in the driver's seat in a league of his own right now in 5-3, climbing his way up toward Moth to allow Ryu to get his revenge for the death of his father, as we saw in the opening of that duel. This screen right here in 5-3 is actually deceptively difficult. If you do one of those spin slashes slightly wrong, you will fall in the pits in the process here. So very well done, well executed from Lane.
Yeah, absolutely. He ran right through Act 5. That was a pretty good Act 5 from Lane right there.
Very clean. Very, very clean. Only some minor issues overall, but basically he ran that like a PB attempt.
Yeah, he is on incredible pace right now.
Are we going to see the first sub-12 of the NRL?
It is quite possible. It's hard to know his exact time right now because remember Lane Rainer had some delay at the start, so he's actually his time is probably better than what's showing currently on the screen.
Yeah, just think about that. That just blows my mind. Think about it. He was like the last one we had on the screen to start, and he has a massive lead over everybody else here based on what we've seen because everyone's taken a death so far.
That's right.
Lane taking some unexpected damage here in 6-1, getting hung up.